mine!
Noir Stardia is a boy living in an adventurous, dungeon-filled world. Technically speaking, he comes from an aristocratic family. In the hierarchy of the nobles, his family is at the bottom. He possesses a unique talent known as the Great Sage. A Great Sage will provide him with answers or advice if he focuses and asks. In order to anticipate factors like the weather or a product's pricing. But, as soon as he uses it, he develops a severe headache. He prepares for his first day of work. Although his father goes to meet Emma, one of his childhood friends who also got a job in the library because she wants to be close to him. He learns that his position was stolen by a noble who is higher up the rankings than he has claimed. When they first meet, he shares his situation with her, and she suggests that he apply for the Hero Academy tests, which are held only sometimes. He claims that getting in is impossible, but she encourages him to at least attempt and seek guidance from the renowned sage. She also informs him that according to a book, his headache will disappear if he kisses her. He appeals to the great sage's knowledge and requests his counsel. The wise man advises him to visit a specific dungeon since that is where he will find the solutions. His head begins to hurt as soon as the sage leaves, but it stops as soon as he kisses Emma. He enters the dungeon using the spell the sage instructed him to enchant, and once inside, he hears a woman's voice in his head directing him to a particular room. When he opens it, he discovers a stunning blue-haired woman who appears to be comatose and is restrained by chains. She identifies herself as Olivia and informs him that she entered this dungeon 200 years prior in search of adventure. However, after killing a monster, she was cursed, and these chains encircled her, effectively putting her into a coma. She did, however, learn telepathy. She declines his request to cut the chains because doing so will kill her. She admits that she can assist him when he informs her that the sage sent him here. He was instructed to lightly tap her forehead with his head. And as soon as he accomplishes it, power begins to stream from him. She says that she has given him his talents, which allow him to make things out of nothing, take away someone's abilities, and learn information about anyone simply by looking at them. Nevertheless, there is a catch. Every time he performs an ability, a portion of his life points, or LP, are depleted, and when they are completely gone, he will perish. Simply doing something that makes him feel great, like cuddling up on his sister's lap or giving Emma a bear hug, will increase it. She becomes his teacher, and he departs to take the entrance tests for the Hero Academy. They must be separated into 3 teams, the referee declares, and the team with the most points after monsters killed wins the competition. 3 of the best teams would be chosen. He tries to recruit someone to his team, but they all reject him and treat him with contempt. Emma appears to be the young woman who is approaching him from behind. In order to be with him, she says she quit her work at the library. Although he is grateful to her, they still require a new member. He is suddenly approached by a young woman who introduces herself as Lenore. As they divide up to take out monsters, she joins his team. He returns to the dungeon, where no one else has ever gone, and engages in combat with a Grim Reaper of extremely high rank. He uses his power to learn that he has an instant kill perk, which means that if you even touch him, he will die. He also learns that he is way out of his league, so he doesn't get very scared. Yet since it costs 10 times as much LP for him to use his skills on this monster, he decides to chain him up instead, which severely depletes his LP and wears him out. But, he stands up, charges towards the monster while dodging his assault, and, at the expense of his life points, turns the dust into a huge boulder that he uses to destroy it. He brings the monster's skull to the exit. Results of tournament arena are announced. After earning 10 times as many points as the team in second place, the Norris squad has overtaken it as the winner, the referee informs the crowd. And with the monster's skull, he is chosen for the academy and they set a new record. He receives a letter of enrollment the next day, but it's unfortunate to see that the enrollment cost is very expensive and he cannot pay it. He meets Olivia there, who advises him to approach the guild and request a task. When he arrives at the guild, he meets Lola, who assists him in registering. She then assigns him a quest that involves finding extremely rare but highly lucrative insects. He travels there, develops a talent that protects him from headaches, and then employs the Great Sage to locate these bugs precisely. Even though he still experiences migraines, he can find the insect and the pain is tolerable. Mr. shows up out of the blue and is upset with him for not telling her about joining the guild. She extends her forgiveness to him, gives him a headache-relieving kiss, and they make up. Lola is astonished that they discovered the insects so quickly and paid him well, but he still needs some cash. He then embarks on a new quest that involves killing a huge rabbit. He agrees to the mission and sets off to complete it. He comes into two goblins while searching for the rabbits, and one of them is easily dispatched. Emma had to deal with the other one first, though. The enormous rabbit that emerges from the ground kills him. He attacks the bunny despite Emma's warnings to back off. She moves very quickly and deflects all of the blows while hitting the bunny with a wind strike. The bunny hits Emma after bouncing back due to his thick skin. He makes an attempt to catch up with her, but Noor makes a huge rock and throws it in her direction, forcing him away. He instantly seizes Emma and runs into the woods to hide. They are assaulted by the rabbit before he can change Emma's talents to better fit her fighting style because he notices she is depressed because she feels useless. The rabbit tries to stab him with his horns, but he blocks them off with a rock and immediately edits Emma's talent to stop the rabbit from attacking them once more. They return the horns to the guilty party. He receives the remaining payment, which we'll cover in enrollment fees, and they all enjoy a party including rabbit meat for the first time in his life without him being seen or thanked by anyone. First-time student Noor observes the animosity of other nobles toward him as soon as he enters the class at the Academy of Emma. A stunning young woman named Maria joins the classroom unexpectedly. She is well-liked and the daughter of the highest-ranking nobility. He proceeds to look at her statistics and is even more horrified to discover that she is under a curse that will kill her the moment she turns 16, which is in 1 week. In contrast to the other nobility, she acknowledges him and makes an effort to be his friend, which makes everyone else envious of him and respect him if he can be friends with Maria. They attend their first defense lesson, which is instructed by Elena, a teacher. She chooses Noor from the bunch and asks him to attack the girl with the intention of killing her. When he looks at her statistics, he is terrified to learn that she is level 200 plus while he is just level 35. She quickly backs away when he tries to attack her and informs the group that they will be learning how to backstep today. When she assaults him after telling Noor to try it, he is unable to flee and suffers damage. He tried again after she killed him. This time, he enhances his backstep skill using his skill editor capabilities. To everyone's surprise, Elena is able to avoid the onslaught this time. In order to complete the next training, they must form two-person teams. Noor and Emma chose to work together, but Elena instructs them to split up, and Maria joins his team in their place. When Elena orders them to throw each other to the ground, she almost passes out from the sudden dizziness. Maria's friend and her attendant approach her and offer to take her to the doctor. When Noor returns to the guild to seek assistance, Lola suggests one of her friends who is an authority in this field. Noor decides to meet with this friend so he can assist Maria, who treats him with such respect. This is when Noor comes to this realization. Nora visits Luna, who lives in a temple and aids those who are ill or cursed. When Luna and Noor first meet, he tells her about Maria. Surprisingly, she utilizes his special ability to peek through her stats and discovers that every time she heals someone's ailment, some years from her lifespan are stolen, since he already knows about her claims that she has previously refused to heal her curse and appears upset. She will probably perish if she invokes Maria's curse. They rush there after hearing an explosion to discover a boy injured by a shattered scaffolding that had pinned him down. Luna quickly heals the boy using her ability to cast curses. But she herself becomes lightheaded and passes out. She soon returns to normal while being held by Noor. She describes how her mother used to heal people, which caused her to pass away at a young age. Since she doesn't want anyone to die, this also inspires her, and she chooses to help Maria even if it means risking her own life. To his surprise, he is able to do so, but it will cost a lot of LP from his body and money from Luna. So he tries to see if he can remove the part of her skill that shortens her lifespan. They made the decision to attend a noble's special event in order to find a way to raise his LP. After the nobles are pleased that their bond is stronger than the other contenders and that they can make a lot of money in LP, they are able to win the unique prize together. They hurry to Maria's home because she is about to turn 16 just before midnight. She claims that her health has gotten worse and she can't watch her closest friend die as they approach her property and discover her crying on the porch below. Take them to Maria, Noor orders, and when they arrive, they will find Maria on her deathbed with her parents sobbing close by. He instantly alerts them to the need to remove her curse, and he immediately modifies Luna's abilities to ensure that she can accomplish this without perishing. She then attempts to lift the curse, which is particularly challenging because it is retaliating, but she succeeds in doing so exactly as the clock strikes midnight. Maria is still living, and the heartache is no longer there. Her parents are ecstatic and declare that Nora has made their lives better forever. Nora and the others adjourn outside as Maria stays inside to rejoice with her parents. After that, he visits Olivia to thank her and all of her helpers. The following day, Nora and the others get a sizable quantity of money from Maria's father, and she decides to put it in a business that deals with rare materials. He returns to the dungeon in search of some uncommon goods, and when he ascends to the 5th floor, he finds himself perplexed by the abundance of dead monsters. He is startled to see a huge black lion suddenly appear in front of him. He instantly tries to check his numbers, but no information is available, so he uses his power to become blind and quickly tries to flee, but the lions stop him. Nora is told to stay since he will hurt him and needs assistance. The lion, who introduces himself as Tigerson, convinces him to listen to him out. He claims that his friend Vashel gave him the name. He leads him to the elevator to the 6th floor and requests that he locate his companion. He admits to Nora that, out of 1,000,000 people, Vashel was the first to attempt to be his buddy. And 350 years have passed since Vashel descended to the 6th floor without having it. Vashel must be alive since he is an elf, he tells Nora. He is being attacked by a swarm of zombies on the 6th floor after Nora decides to assist him. To get away from them, he hurriedly locks himself in a room, but as he does so, he is startled to discover another zombie approaching him. This zombie has pointy ears and an unusual wardrobe. His numbers are swiftly checked, and he finds that the elf is cursed. He thus lifts his curse using his LP. Zombie changes into a human and reveals himself to be Vashel. He runs up to me and we embrace when he realizes that Tigerson is still waiting for him. He informs Tigerson, however, that they must part ways because he must go back to his wife and because outsiders are not permitted in the village. While he agrees with great respect, Tigerson returns to the 5th because when Nora pursues him, he finds him sobbing on the floor. He extends a friendly hand to him and invites him to stay at his home and become his buddy. As soon as Tigerson learns this, he rushes back to Nora's home and makes a promise to defend his family. Elena instructs the entire class to locate a specific quantity of extremely rare artifacts as the exams draw near. If they couldn't discover them before the end of the month, they had 1 month to do so. Students will be required to take extra classes. When Nora and Emma arrive at the guild, they discover Lola battling with Sarah, a different receptionist who has been seducing the adventurers and even stealing them from Lola. It was decided to hold a friendly competition to see who had the better adventures. Nora makes a promise to win the competition for her by obtaining extremely rare items, which he needs for the exams anyhow. Lumina also decides to join them, and the 3 of them set out on various adventures, taking down various monsters and obtaining unique artifacts. An earth dragon with its stronghold in the mountains is the final creature they must slay. They all head for the mountains and pick up a weapon that is shot by a number of spears. They set up a pitfall trap for the dragon and hid themselves before approaching it or throwing a boulder at it. The dragon emerges from its den and begins pursuing the victim while dodging his strikes and guiding him toward the trap. While hiding behind a rock is Lumina and Emma. When the dragon enters the trap, both girls are alerted, come out of hiding, and charge at the dragon. The dragon then quickly rises and attacks the girls. The dragon spews a number of boulders, some of which hit the man without hurting him. But he was killed by the dragon before it could cause any more harm. They sprint over to Nora, where Lumina entirely restores his health. As they return to the academy, where they are among the very best students, Lola informs them that Sarah is still in charge of the guild. In order for Lola to succeed, Nora then goes back to the dungeon to explore it more and locate more valuable artifacts. And after taking out more zombies on the 6th floor, he is able to locate the 7th. He stepped onto the 7th floor, which, in contrast to the floors above, is entirely covered in plants and flowers. He advances and discovers a pack of wolves eating meat. He examines their statistics and is astounded to learn that they are 2 times the levels above him. He decides to retreat for the time being because he cannot take them down, but before he could turn around, a young woman with green hair who identified herself as Dory, the genuine soul of this forest, stopped him. She tells him that the only one who can fulfill her desire is him. She also promises to give him access to extremely rare things on this level and point him in the direction of the 8th floor if he assists her. Despite her fear, Nora consents to look into it. He notices a golden wasp nearby as she leads him to a large tree that she describes as her main body. She claims that while the area is typically populated by bronze wasps, which are not an issue, the mutated golden variety has been weakening her and, if it continues, she will pass away very soon. When he looks at its statistics, he is shocked to discover that it is for time zone level. He becomes frightened because he cannot possibly vanquish that monster. But, the wasp stings the tree once more and Dory collapses in agony. Wasp, though, deflects his blow and forces him back. He was attacked by the wolves as well before he could do anything. When he is encircled, he lets his guard down and utilizes his skills to make the wasp, the wolves' new target. When wolves and wasps collide, the wasp is highly powerful and can kill all of the wolves. Nonetheless, it sustains a great deal of damage and weakens throughout the conflict. Nora takes advantage of this and employs both his lightning and water abilities to produce an extremely potent water blast that shocks the wasp and ultimately kills it. As Dory awakens, he is happy to see Nora unharmed and she reveals him where the treasures are hidden in the 8th floor entrance. He returns to the guild and is present for the final tally. He defeats the other receptionists in the race for Lola, startling Sarah and everyone else. After the official opening, Nora goes to the dungeon with Emma and decides to free Olivia once and for all. Nora is finally able to open his shop. He asks the Great Sage for assistance, and he tells him to proceed to the 15th floor. As he continues on his journey, he comes across a group of goblins, which he dispatches by feeding them poisoned food. As he ascends to the 15th floor, he is shocked to discover Olivia there, chained, in the same circumstances. She is able to solve the mystery on the wall sign that is there. Also, it states that you must break the bond of death itself in order to liberate Olivia. He recognizes this ruse and tells Emma that Olivia is just a fake, and the real Olivia is on the 2nd floor. Emma uses her wind blades to cut her chains free, and Olivia stands up thanking Nora. She is readily able to kick aside the enormous boulder that Nora makes and throws at her. She then sends a flaming dragon after Nora and Emma, and because of how powerful it is, Nora's forced to use his teleportation abilities to go to the 2nd floor. He approaches the real Olivia and asks her for advice, but she bluntly informs him that he should not confront the fake Olivia because he will die if he does, nor should he leave the dungeon. However, he is determined to set Olivia free, so he goes to the library and looks through every book for information on Olivia because she was a well-known explorer. He learns that she had a bloody altercation with a local cleric that left her with serious injuries. And it turns out that her weakness is the sacrifice skill, despite the fact that learning the skill cost him about 90% of his LP. He exits and makes the decision to return to his residence and fall asleep. But he sees the phony Olivia walking through the streets. He chooses to utilize his sacrifice magic and assault the phony Olivia after she gives him a cunning look. She seemed shocked that she launched the attack. She effortlessly attacks him first, cutting through his body and wounding him as he runs towards her with his sword raised. She then walks medicinally towards him and raises her sword to kill him. Emma kicks her back before she can kill him. She blocks the kick, but as pushed back suddenly Nora sees that Emma, Luna, Lola, and Layla are standing in front of him ready to defend. Luna shoots at the fake while Layla launches a powerful punch that throws her back and Emma quickly arrives behind her and uses her wind strike to attack her. She disappears into thin air and appears behind Emma attacking her. Emma blocks or attacked but because of the lightning attribute present in the fake Olivia sword, she gets shocked and falls down. Before the fake could kill her, Lola starts throwing barrels at her, which she is easily able to dodge. She throws one back at Lola but she can't dodge and she gets hurt. Luna heals both Lola and Emma while Nor uses his editor skills to remove the lighting attribute from her sword, giving Lila the chance to break it. The fake Olivia, however, dodges the blow and uses her flame blast to gravely injured Lila. Nor looks around to see that even Luna has collapsed from exhaustion after healing so many people and he has left alone. She walks up to Nowhere and uses her flame dragon ability on him. He quickly dodges it, but is again pushed into a corner. He fires a stone bullet at her, but she deflects it and hits him. He gets up on sheer willpower and uses his sacrifice ability again, attacking the fake with amazing speed. He's able to hit her on the shoulder. But to his surprise her skin is so tough that his sword has no effect on it. She gets annoyed and starts punching him relentlessly and kicks him into a corner. She uses her flame dragon again on him to finish him for good. But he's able to use his sacrifice skill to the fullest and cuts through her flame dragon and hits her on her head, destroying her completely. He kills the rest of the girls and runs towards the dungeon, where he is delighted to find Olivia already out of the dungeon standing with the rising sun. He hugs her deeply and thanks her for everything. After that incident, things went back to normal. He studies at the academy and later manages the shop with the help of his family, and he has finally risen from being known as the son of the lowest ranking noble to one of the city's best adventures. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for other exciting episodes of your favorite anime. Until next time, goodbye.